author and nutritionist Robert Ferguson. Please welcome Robert Ferguson.
All right, y'all, let's hear it for America's fat lost coach, Robert Ferguson!
Hey, this is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. Hey, you know what? I'm coming to you live for the second time in one day. And what's crazy is that I'm in the beautiful state of Indiana. And what's really interesting about being in Indiana, I don't really go on live twice a day. My ultimate goal is to probably post 3 times a day. So this is good practice. It really is. But I had to come on live because I saw something in the news today that just blew my mind. Yes. How many people got discomfort in the gut? How many people are struggling with the gut? Imagine, as I stated in the context, vomiting so hard that you lose your teeth. I mean, I've heard someone like vomiting so hard, or not vomiting, but coughing so hard that a tooth popped out. But vomiting? Well, here we go again. The weight loss drugs are in the news. Now, before I dive in, and I'm not going to keep you long, I just wanted you to hear it from me because I saw this come across the press, and it blew my mind. Because earlier, I had on one of my clients who lost 95 pounds, reduced a lot of inches off her body, got off blood pressure medication, basically put her arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, in remission, got off diabetes medication, eating regular food, learning how to eat. It's an educational process. Like if you became my client, one of the most valuable parts about being my client is not just losing weight and not just getting off meds. It's about being informed. It's about being educated about nutrition. And for all you religious folks who believe in this part in the Bible that says, "My people perish for the lack of knowledge," what is your knowledge when it comes to nutrition? What are you doing to constantly improve on your knowledge? I mean, Einstein once said that his biggest fear or concern would be the day that technology surpasses humanity. Well, we're seeing that with AI, artificial intelligence. We see that when you go buy food. Now they got lab-grown food. I mean, it's getting crazy. Now, you may have a job, you may have kids, you may have a life. So you don't have the time to be like looking up and staying on top of like studies and all that. But I do. Anyway, my client is saving, the one I was talking to you earlier, she saves more money as a result of working with me per month than what it costs her to have me as her coach. So with a lot of my clients, they don't see me going anywhere. It's like, come on, coach, let's keep this entertaining and educational. Now, if any of you are looking for a coach, you feel like you're ready, you don't want to go the drug route, you're done with guessing, then reach out to my assistant, Lori, at dietfreelife.com, or go to our website at dietfreelife.com. Contact us. If you're not working with me, I have other coaches I can refer you to. We have some good coaches. Okay. Now let's get into this. It's actually sad. I'm trying to keep myself. I've had some real tragic stuff going the last few weeks, man. And I got to get out of this funk. You know what I'm saying? And today was actually good to do that interview with my client. And now it's actually good to have a moment like this with you, because these drugs are now causing a whole bunch of additional problems. They already caused a lot of problems. And I know some of you guys are a little silly. The ones that, you know who I'm talking about. The ones of you who are taking the drug and you're taking it and you're like, well, I don't have any symptoms. I'm good. Everything's working out for me. Okay. Now, more problems are coming. And I know some of you are like, well, I'm going to do it for about 3 months and I'm going to get off. I just want to jumpstart my weight loss. Okay. That is not really wise. That definitely lacks, well, it's just sad. And some of you are really intelligent, smart, educated people. But for some reason, when it comes to vanity or weight loss and health, you're willing to take shortcuts. And I'm thinking about these people right now who are starting to sue these big companies. I'm talking about Ozempic, Mounjaro, and others are being sued because people are experiencing stomach paralysis. Stomach paralysis. So as of today, okay, these crazy drugs with all the other things that they cause, they're causing gastroparesis. Now, I'm familiar with gastroparesis because gastroparesis has a lot to do with like um, um, stomach or emptying in the gut. And if you wanted to give it like a simple name, it would be paralysis of the stomach. And so, yes, these drug companies who are getting you on these drugs and these doctors who are promoting these drugs, well, they warn you, but they don't warn you. If they warn you, if you knew everything that I'm aware of, there's no way you would take this drug. Not even if you only had 10 pounds to lose. And it just blows my mind how many, I'm going to say stupid people that I know that have taken this drug. And I know them. And they know me. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Well, when the lawsuit starts, that means a whole bunch of them are following. So as I was reading through the initial paperwork on the trial, this lady, she says, or she's a 44-year-old woman, one of over 400 from Louisiana. She's taken both drugs. She took Ozempic, then she took Mounjaro at the recommendation of her doctor. Doctors out there, wake up, please. Jeez. Now, quote, and this is from the one of the lawyers. He said, her problems have been, actually, no, I'm going to say it over. I want to say this right. Quote, her problems have been so severe that she's been to the emergency room multiple times. Now, I don't know about you, but the drug costs a lot. It costs the insurance plans a lot of money. If you buy it directly, it costs you a lot of money. And now you're paying every time you had to go to that emergency room, you're paying. Well, she's been there multiple times, right? Including last weekend, they said. She's actually even thrown up, and this is in quotes, so violently that she lost teeth. Now, how many of you, if you're catching me live, I mean, I got a few people in here. If you lost teeth because you were taking a drug, how many of you would keep taking that drug? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. Let me see. Someone just made a comment. Volman07 at work, but popping by to say hi, catch up, Juicy 411 later. Okay. I think I know who that is. That may be Big Dave. Dave's in the house. And I say that with love if that's Dave. Okay. So there's people in this lawsuit, man. It's like over 45 states are involved with this. Man, this is crazy. Now, the delayed gastric emptying that you do hear about as far as what happens in the drug, that is gastroparesis. And it's a disorder, but they looked at it as a positive. And it slows or stops the movement of food from your stomach as you consume food to your small intestine. Even though there is no blockage in the stomach or the intestines, it just slows everything down. Now, this is according to the National Institute of Health. Now, in a statement that I picked up from CBS News, Novo Nordisk said gastrointestinal or GI events are well-known side effects of the GLP-1 class. Okay. They admit it. They're like, hey, you're taking this at your own risk. There are side effects, and the side effects are long. What is wrong with people willing to gamble? I mean, I get it. Some of you, self-esteem is so low. Some of you are just in a place where you don't know what else to do. Then you see celebrities taking it. You hear other people taking it. Man, I feel for you guys, especially when I know and have proven to be able to help people get exactly where you want to be, but just learning how to eat. It's like we want to give up our freedom to choose, which is also biblical. I mean, Lord, help us. Okay. Well, there's a whole bunch of side effects. Now, if you guys have questions about this stuff, we can talk about it. I mean, we're seeing people get Ozempic face. We're seeing people like lose a massive amount of hair. We're seeing people experience, diarrhea, nausea, headaches. There's now lawsuits they're looking at as far as, additional lawsuits because people are committing suicide. Now, when someone first brought this to my attention, they're like, well, why would something that you take affect your gut? It affects your gut. What does that have to do with like what would drive you to commit suicide? I go, are you serious right now? And they said, yeah. I said, okay. Are you familiar with serotonin? And this person says, yeah, it's like feel good, like that's why people take antidepressant drugs because they need more serotonin. I said, yeah, SSRIs. And I said, so where do you think serotonin is produced naturally in the body? The brain. I says, no. Right now it's predicted 93%. So we can say over 90% of serotonin, which is your mental health, is produced in your gut, right where these drugs are impacting. So the drug is slowing things down, potentially stopping food from doing what it needs to do. It's affecting other parts of your body. You have these receptors everywhere. I mean, come on. And you're telling me your doctor explained that to you? Most doctors don't even know how to explain what the gut microbiome is. So how are they going to be able to explain this? If they're a family practitioner, unless they're really into staying up to date and really being informed and reading all the papers and spending time with colleagues who are also familiar and knowledgeable of this, how are they going to know? They work all day long. There's no time to read papers. They get off work. They want to have a life. They want to go eat dinner. They may want to go play golf. They may want to have a quiet moment. They're not going to go home and the ones that got kids and start reading papers and then really challenging themselves and making sure they're fully up to date. That's why the average doctor, and if a doctor can come on here right now that is not the average one and say, oh, I totally understand the gut microbiome. I would love to have a conversation with the average doctor, not a gastroenterologist, but the average doctor. I would love to hear them talk. Because there's a couple that are on videos, YouTube, commercials on TV, and they now know a little bit about the gut microbiome, and they're talking about the gut microbiome. And if you know what to look for and what to listen for, you realize real quick, they don't know. They're just regurgitating stuff they read probably the night before or something that the producers put together. And we're just trusting these people. Oh, yeah, I'll take that drug. Let's get your diabetes under control. Yeah, let's get you're probably going to lose some weight too. Yeah, let's just start taking this drug. Lord, help us. For they not know what they do. And for all of you people who are taking shortcuts, I hope it doesn't happen to you. I really do. I hope you don't fall prey to what is about to happen. I hope that you are not one of the many people who are going to experience thyroid cancer as a result of some of these drugs, because it is mentioned as a side effect. I hope that you aren't someone who's vomiting so hard that your teeth are falling out. I hope you don't have Ozempic face and you never look the same again. All because you got pulled in like sheep and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that just for a little bit. Let me just try that to lose some weight. Unbelievable. I mean, I just got off the phone with Karen, who's down 36 pounds. I was just talking to Tammy the other day, who her doctors are trying to push her to do this drug. Her glucose was well over 200. This woman loses 7, 8, 9 pounds in her first week. Glucose now is way down. I'm coaching her. Unbelievable. And then she still goes back to see her doctor for a checkup to get some lab work or whatever she had to go in for, and they're still pushing it. So yes, these big companies should be sued, And I also say these individual doctors should be sued because they're prescribing it. And part of their Hippocratic oath is that they are to do no harm and they are to do what is necessary, that you are informed. And I would bet money that all the people who have been encouraged to take these drugs, they were not informed about paralysis of their gut, gastroparesis. I doubt if you went to your doctor who prescribes it and you say, "Hey doc, what is gastroparesis?" What do you mean? How do you spell that? But yet you're going to prescribe that. You're going to encourage me to take it. Give me a break. Give me a break. We've seen this happen. Millions of people died from, what we just came out of. And still people are having some challenges because we're just quick to get in line like sheep and just do and just hope it works out. Now we have a lawsuit, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am in talks with some of these big billion-dollar companies because they're freaking out. If you look at the laws around Medicare, the supply and demand is in high effect. That's how business works, you guys, right? So the demand is high. People who have Medicare are like, I want that drug. I want that drug. They're hitting the gavel. And Medicare is like, nah, we don't want to, not because you know why they're doing that? Do you know? I can tell you why. Because I'm in these talks. I'm in these meetings. One, they're going to lose money. Two, they're going to lose more money. So imagine they lose money because they pay for the drug. You do your little copay. Now you got the drug and you're off to a good start, feeling like it's going to work out for you. Then you have paralysis of the gut. Oh, and one of your teeth fell out. So now not only does the companies that manufacture the drug get sued, class action, now the insurance companies are going to get sued. Think about it. So that's why they're like, wait a minute, I think we opened up a can of worms here. All right. I think I did my job. You guys heard it here first. When you turn on the news tonight or tomorrow morning and they start talking about stomach paralysis, you heard it here first. Now, there's a good chance you won't see it on the news. You know why? Who do you think pays the majority of the money that these news stations and TV, the majority of the money that comes in, who do you think is paying for that? Where's that money coming from? It's coming from pharma, the same companies that own these drugs. And trust me, if those news stations and TV channels want to keep getting that money, they got to be careful on what they talk about. You don't want to cause problems and mess up where the money's coming from. So a lot of people will just never be informed. But instead, they'll hear other stories about how it's been beneficial, how it helped the woman and her husband lose 70 pounds. They'll just hear the positives unless you're connected and you're informed. Anyway. All right, I want to give a big shout out to Mama Oracle. I think I said that right. Thank you. She said, I agree with you in prayer, Robert. Well, I agree with you also because we need it right now. This country, this world we got meat being grown in a lab, and there's a whole bunch of lobbyists working hard to make it where that meat can be put in a right there with the other chicken, and you don't have to, and they won't even disclose that it's lab grown. We have ingredients that just stay in a whole bunch of the foods that we know is carcinogenic. All you got to do is sit around and think about it. More people than ever are having challenges with obesity. More people than ever are being diagnosed with various cancers. But yet we live in a world where there's more whole foods, there's more push and focus on eating healthier, being more active. Why is it that more people were getting sicker and sicker? Think about that. Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. Hippocrates also said, all disease begins in the gut. I have 6 clients tomorrow that I'm on the call with, 6, that all have just lost a little over 80 pounds eating food. No drugs, no craziness, reversing insulin resistance, no supplements, food, learning how to eat foods in the right combinations. We have the solution. We just need people who want it to find out about it. I'm Robert Ferguson. Be sure to visit our YouTube channel if you have not. Make sure you like, subscribe. And hey, if you catch the live or you catch the replay, all you got to do is hit that share button, right? Just hit the share button. And then what you have learned about, someone that's in your network will learn about it. That's how we help people. Don't just share when it's hypocrisy or gossip, right? Share because you care. And then you and I are in full alignment. All right. I'm Robert Ferguson. Thank you. Until the next one, which will be mañana. We'll see you then.